Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here for Papertrey Ink today and we're going to create a card using the brand new Tuck It Travel stamp set. I think this is fabulous for those of you who are traveling or on your way to a travel or adventure. Super fun set, lots of fun elements in here. Great for this time of season. And this is the Tuck It Travel, and what that means is it's meant to coordinate with the Tuck It stamp and die set. What the Tuck It does is you have the dies, and this creates a little two-line opening wherever you put it, and then you can tuck things in between it. So that's what we're going to use today. I'm also going to use a sub-sentiment that's in here in our Tuck It stamp set. I thought we would stamp adventure weights just for you. I think that will be super fun. These are long elements. You got Big Ben, you have the Eiffel Tower, there's globes, taxis, everything that says Bon Voyage. There's airplanes, so I thought we'd make a fun card today. We're going to start by doing some stamping, and I love that these are layering because when you layer you get lots of details. And so let's go ahead and take our stamps out along with our die set. To create the palm tree, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Normally, since these are layering, what I like to do is die cut out first and then stamp. But I don't want to bring in my stamping positioner. So what we're going to do is stamp the base, which is just 2 layers. I'll stamp the base layer with my honey nut ink. This is a golden brown or golden yellow. I'll stamp this. And then I'll take a darker ink. This is dark chocolate. And I'm going to add my second layer here. And we'll ink this up with dark chocolate. Very easy to line up. Wonderful. I love all the dimension you get with layering stamps. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my die and I'm going to line this up. I'll tack this down. And I'll run this through my die cut machine. So we have our palm tree. Now I'm going to take our palm frond, and this is just 1 layer, which is nice, but I'm going to add a little bit of detail using 2 inks. I'm going to start with simply Chartreuse. I'm going to go over the image with my hand, kind of season it a little bit. We'll go over our fronds with simply Chartreuse. And then I will add ripe avocado along the edges. And I'm just brushing up against the edges. So we have 2-tone ink here. And then we can stamp this. Right over the top. And there is our palm tree. Super fun. I'm going to actually create 1 more palm tree for my card today, but we're going to do some more stamping first. Now I love the globe in here, so we're going to stamp this as well. But I'm going to take the globe stand and I'm going to ink this up with my dark indigo ink, and I'm going to stamp this. On this side. Wonderful. We'll put this back and then we'll create our globe. To create the globe, there's two layers. You have the base layer. Now I'm going to kind of season this once more, and for the globe, for this part, I'm going to be using Spring Rain ink. It's a real pretty blue. Wonderful. And I'm going to stamp this on the inside where my globe is too. Now this part you can completely skip, but I like it just because if the card will be tilted, you can see the blue underneath. Now we'll take our second layer. For our second layer, I'm going to be using my Simply Chartreuse. We will ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this over here, right on top. And we have our globe. I'm not going to worry about this because it's going to be covered with this one. We'll put this back. I'm going to take the airplane, and I'm going to use my dark indigo to ink up my airplane. This is a dark ink. We'll stamp this. Wonderful. Our plane is layering too. There's 2 layers that go to our plane. Let me show you. Now I'm going to ink up with my Spring Rain, and we'll add our second layer. And of course you could do any color you want. That's just fine. Now for the plane, there is a 3rd layer. It's this piece here. It adds some stripes to your plane. Since my plane's really dark, I'm not going to add that, but there is that option. Okay, we have that. I am going to take our little locator. And I'm going to ink this up with my dark chocolate ink. And we will stamp this as well. And while we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp Adventure Awaits. I think there's enough room on here. I'm going to end up trimming it down, but we can stamp this as well. And I'll stamp this with my dark indigo ink. And we'll stamp this in the corner because I'm going to end up blocking this off. Now I'm going to take the coordinating dies. We're going to line these up. And I will die cut out my globe. Both of my globes here. And my locator. Now I'm going to tack these down. I also want a cloudy filled background. So to do that, I'm going to take the 2 clouds that are in our die set. We'll add some clouds. And I'm going to die cut out lots of clouds because I want a background filled with them. So I will run these all through my die cut machine. Everything is die cut, and I did end up stamping one more palm tree for my card today. Now I'm going to layer my globe on my stand, and I'm just going to add a foam square. And then we can go ahead and adhere this for a little bit of dimension. So all of our images are done for this part. Now we need a panel to put them on. So we'll put these off to the side. That's where our Tuck It stamp set and also our die set comes in. I'm going to take some white cardstock and a piece of vellum, and I'm going to be using my Love to Layer rectangles. I'm going to take the middle size. I'll die cut that out with some white cardstock, and then I'll take the largest and I'm going to die cut that out with a piece of vellum. So we have our decorative panels all done. We'll put this off to the side, and then we're going to work on this with our Tuck It. Now there's lots of different elements you can use. There's zigzags, there's dotted detail, and I'm going to take just the regular Tuck It piece, and I think it will just barely fit on my panel here. I'm going to bring it up about a 1/2 of an inch from the bottom. And I will tack this down. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. So it just barely fit, but you can see it leaves an area, let me show you with the palm tree, that you can tuck. That's the great thing about these longer images. that you can actually tuck inside and put your sentiment over the top. There are some stamps that you can add to your tuck it element, and I like the stripes, so I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to stamp some stripes right on my sentiment area, and for that I'm going to use my dark chocolate ink. Wonderful. And then while we have our inks out, I'm going to use my dark indigo ink, and we're going to stamp Just for You right below it here. Wonderful. We have a little bit of room for our palm trees. Now I'm going to take both of my palm trees, we put foam tape behind here. I'm going to just remove the release paper. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the bottom. And this is where we are going to add our tuck it elements. We'll add our second one. And then I'll remove the release paper off of our airplanes. And then we can add our airplane. Our panel is good to go. I'll put that up with my vellum. For my background, I have an A2 panel. This measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to ink blend some light blue. Actually, we're going to ink blend Spring Rain on the edges of our card front panel. We're going to add a little bit of color here. Since our clouds are white, let me show you. This looks really soft, but when you add a cloud that's white, it just makes it stand out a little bit more. So it's kind of subtle. Now our background has a little color, and I do want to mention that in our stamp set, our Tuck It Travel stamp set, there are some clouds too. So you can, and these coordinate with the dies. So I just used the die to cut out my clouds, but there is an image that you could use to stamp it. Now I'm going to use my tape runner, and we are going to fill, since our sentiment panel is basically going to be right in the middle, I'm just going to be worried about the edges with my clouds. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the back area. I'm going to go ahead and trim away what's overhanging. Anything that was overhanging, I can use again on the edges to make a really cloud-filled background. For example, this piece I can add over here. So anything that you trim away can be put back with that straight edge on your background. So we have a cloud-filled background. That is our cloudy background. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to add some adhesive behind here. And I'm going to tack this down to an A2 size card base. This is going to go right on the front. I'm going to take my vellum and I'm going to add some adhesive behind here. Right down the middle where we're going to put our panel, and I'm going to directly adhere my vellum to my card because I want those clouds to stand out. And then I'll take my panel, I'm going to flip this around, I'm going to put foam tape behind here, and I put foam tape all along the back, so it's actually going to help secure those palm trees too. We're going to remove the release paper, and I'll place this on my card right in the middle. I think that's so fun. Okay, lastly, I'm going to bring in a little bit of sparkle. I don't want too much. I'm just bringing in my diamond Stickles, and I'm going to add that to my locator here. This is going to give me dimension and a little bit of shine. To bring in a little bit more brown, I'm bringing in my dark chocolate baker's twine from Papertrey Ink. I'm going to go ahead and add some twine at the very top. And I'll tie a bow off to the left. And that will finish off my card today for Papertrey Ink. Adventure awaits just for you. Have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.